If you're a veteran, have bad credit, and want to buy a home, now is a fantastic time. Phil Tyrone with Evergreen Financial Counseling, Dan Friel with Barrett Financial. Dan, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Philip.
So, Dan, veterans, right? We talk about them all the time. Veterans served our country. They put a pause on their life, and they have certain privileges that the rest of America doesn't have. One of them is with VA loans, right? A
That's
lot of people
correct.
with VA loans, they're super criteria because it's a no down payment loan. Is that correct?
That's correct. 100% financed.
100% finance, no down payment. So the question is I hear often, well, I don't qualify because you got to fit into the box.
hmm
But now there's certain things that are changing because with late payments and different things like that, credit scoring. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. The VA loan is our favorite program. Like, without exaggeration,
Mhm.
three-quarters of our loans in process right now are VA loans.
Wow.
So you can do a whole lot with them,
Uh-huh.
and they're built for that, right? They want to give you more flexibility, but they also want to protect their veterans with each loan. So there's different things on the lender side that we have to balance, but the options are vast. Credit scores, I mean, if you are above 580, you're
Mhm.
doing great. You can do a 550 credit score with the right letters of explanation, even. So they really set our veterans up for success here.
So you're telling me you have a veteran, they have a 580 credit score, which for those of you that know, that is not a good credit score. Not a good credit score. You can easily get to 600, 650 with very little effort. And that's anyone can, no matter how bad their past credit score is. You can get a new home loan with no money down. What are the limits on a VA loan?
There really is no limit. There's no loan amount. I mean, the VA will go all the way up like over $1 million
They
for a
will.
home loan, 100% down.
You can do $1 million no down payment loan with a 580 credit score.
Correct.
Okay. That I did not know that. I'm a former mortgage guy. I cannot believe that. Wow. So how you
Yeah,
qualify is based on your job.
correct.
Make sure you can afford the payment based on the job. And how do VA interest rates compare to FHA or normal conventional interest rates?
They're just leaps and bounds better across the board. There's
Oh, you
no
mean lower
PMI.
interest rates?
Yes, they're a lot lower because not only is the interest rate lower than most FHA loans, conventional loans, but there's no PMI. So
Hmm.
if you look at an FHA loan, they have that PMI. Conventional loans have PMI as well if you put less than 20% down. The VA is just in a category of its own.
So how do you like to qualify as a veteran? You obviously had to serve, right? I
Yep,
mean, obviously, it's not a family member that served. You personally had to serve.
correct.
Okay. And is that serving for 4 years? What about serving the National Guard?
You can, if you're in the National Guard, I think the time frame is 2 years, I believe. I'll have to double check it, so don't hold me to it. But National Guard, you can get a loan, a VA loan. If you are a veteran, obviously you can get a loan too. Active duty, you can get a loan. And then in some instances, if you're a surviving spouse and you get something called a DIC benefit,
Hmm.
you could most likely qualify for a VA loan based off your deceased spouse as well. So they try to help everybody
That's
out.
unbelievable. Wow. So now, how many VA loans can you have at one time? Just one, right?
Just one for the most part. Now there are events that you can have. You can go get another VA loan. Let's say you get transferred and you're at base in Texas, and then you get transferred to Nebraska. You can technically have your old VA loan and get a new one with the right circumstance, but
Okay.
that's the big asterisk there. It has to be right by the VA.
Hey, that's fantastic. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Mhm.
So that is so if you're in the VA and you don't even have the money for any type of down payment, 580 credit score, sometimes a 550, bad credit. I mean, that's considered bad credit.
Yep,
You can get qualified depending on your income. I mean, no real veteran should be renting in that case. I mean, you might as well.
100%.
Hi. So keep in mind if you're watching this video, Evergreen Financial Counseling, we're a nonprofit. We help people with debt, credit, you name it. we have a credit program called 7 Steps to 720 Credit Score, and it basically boils down to get the errors off the credit report. We show you how. Get 3 new credit cards, and we show you where. And then get an installment line with that reports monthly, whether it's a credit rebuilding builder loan or a car loan or whatever. And you can easily hit 620, 650 with no issue. And the advantage of a higher credit score, you're going to pay lower on your car interest rate. You're going to pay, I mean, for the most part, lower on interest rates, but not always with home loans. But it's going to makes it easier to get. Is that fair to say, Dan?
It's fair. And with the VA, they do incentivize higher credit scores.
Oh, they
So
do. Okay.
if you can get your score above 700, that's a really good tier to be at. You will get better interest rates and better pricing.
So if someone was at 580 credit score versus 720 or
Mhm.
700, what's the difference in interest rate?
I would say probably a 0.5% is what you'd be looking at.
Okay. So if that's the case, if it's a $400,000 loan, you're talking a 0.5% is $2,000 per year divided by 12. You're going to save $166 a month, like
Yep.
that quick from it,
Mhm.
or qualify for more home,
Yeah,
you know? Boy, that's fantastic to hear. I did not realize that the VA loans have become so aggressive. I mean,
they really are.
there's no reason why veterans should be renting.
You'd be surprised at the stuff you could pull off as long as it's a veteran that's doing the right thing. And let's say they have a mistake, whether they were late on a credit card payment this year, because the normal rule of thumb is the past 12 months, they don't want any lates on anything.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the right thing, let's say you're on base or doing something where you didn't have access to pay your credit card. We had that
Right.
recently. Veteran had a late, and we drafted up a letter of explanation to say, hey, this was a one-time thing. They did the right thing after, and they paid everything off and caught up. Can we still do this? And when we talk to the bank, and a lot of times the answer is yes, as long as you have the right trail, and we can help you with that as long as you're doing the right thing.
So good. And speaking of credit score, Evergreen Financial Counseling has a credit rebuilder program. It's a month-to-month program, month to month, $39 a month, small setup fee. You pay the monthly fee until your credit score is what it is, and then you can stop paying. So you could, if to save that $166 a month, you pay the $39 for X number of months, hit your 700, stop paying, and you're saving $166 a month for the life of the loan, which is, I mean, $166 a month for 30 years is $60,000. So big dollars. Dan,
Adds up.
thanks for your time.
Thank you, Philip. Thanks for having me.
See you soon.
See you.